When you ask somebody for their help, they're much more willing to help you versus say, I need a loan. We don't do that. I'm going to loan you the money for the property, but I'd like you to take the money that you have in the passbook savings account, and I'd like you to put it with our bank, United Bank and Trust. I asked him, why are you doing this? He said, you're not aware of the fact that we actually bought your grandfather's bank. My grandfather had started a small bank in Winstead. We borrowed the money, turned the property around. I made $108,000 on my first deal. So we were able to take a $250 apartment and charge $1,000. And I was able to create that value super quick. And I did the same thing. And by the time I graduated from college, I had 58 units and I was worth more than $1 million as graduating. Walked inside, and my father walked back to where the president was. His name was John Morris, and he said hello to his assistant, and he said, I'm gonna go get some coffee, and he left me there. And all of a sudden, a wave of being nervous came over my body, and she asked, would I like a coffee? And I'm like, no. And she said, well, Mr. Morris will see you. You can go into his office. He stood up, walked from behind his desk, shook my hand, and he said, how can I help you? And I said, I need your help. And I don't know what prompted me to say that, but I learned that when you ask somebody for their help, they're much more willing to help you versus say, I need a loan. We don't do that. I pulled out the same stuff I had showed my dad. He looked at it for eternity, 45 seconds. And he said, I already spoke with your dad. I'm going to loan you the money for the property, but I'd like you to do one thing for me. I'd like you to take the money that you have in the passbook savings account, which was in a bank called Society for Savings, and I'd like you to put it with our bank, United Bank and Trust. And I said, is that all you need me to do? He said, yes. And he said, 2 days before the closing, you'll call us. We'll give you a bank check. When you need money for the construction, you've got to supply me with the receipts and I will advance it to you. But I'm going to loan you the full, as we call it today, a capital stack, the full $40,000. And you're going to take your money and put it in my bank, which was $40,000, because I was spending every penny. I was taking every penny that I had saved and putting it into this deal. I thanked him and I asked him, why are you doing this? And he said, what do you mean, why am I doing this? And I said, I want to know why you're making a loan to me. I'm a college kid. I have no experience in real estate. And he said, well, number one, I probably will differ with you because you come from a real estate pedigree. And number two, your mom is amazing and we love your dad. And he said, you're not aware of the fact that we actually bought your grandfather's bank. My grandfather had started a small bank in Winstead Savings Bank, and it changed the name to Riverside Bank and Trust. And they bought a small 3-branch bank from my grandfather. And I now kind of put the pieces together to understand that we were special. And he did this as a favor to my father. We borrowed the money, turned the property around. I made $108,000 on my first deal. I learned how to do my first like-kind exchange, which everybody knows is what's called 1031. The actual official name is called like-kind. And I took that. My mother had 2 more properties to sell me. I took those proceeds. I bought 2 6-unit brick properties on the same street, right abutting the college. And we did the same principle. What we did was we leased the apartments to students, but the parents guaranteed the rent. So we were able to take a $250 apartment and charge $1,000. And I was able to create that value super quick. And I did the same thing. And by the time I graduated from college, I had 58 units. And I guess I didn't ever equated it, but I was worth more than $1 million as graduating. And I took a job out of college for a bank called Suffield Savings, worked as a commercial loan officer, all by the grace of, because of my mother's reputation and my family's name. And I found the fact that my bank had a bunch of real estate that they owned. And we figured out that it was okay for me to actually buy the properties from the bank and write my own loans as long as they met the bank's underwriting criteria. My boss, his name was Fred Wheeler. He was an amazing guy. He taught me so much. And after 18 months, I had about a little over 400 apartments, and I left the bank, and that's where I grew to the next 10 levels. And I've never really looked back. Real estate has been good to me. Obviously, I've had deals where I've lost on. You can't do deals without, doing over 300 deals. You can't, be out there doing deals and make a successful deal on every deal. So those are some of the greater lessons when you learn from a failed deal.